our kitchen, and we're going to redo the kitchen. We've been told by the realtor that the rest of the house looks great, but the kitchen doesn't. So the idea is to do the kitchen with style and to do it inexpensively and smartly. I think it's all about that. Right now you can see the kitchen has been emptied. So the idea is to keep the footprint of the kitchen essentially the same. I mean, it could all be very nice to change the windows, make the kitchen bigger, bump it out, put in a breakfast room and so on. But owing to sort of budget and the economy these days, the idea is to make it look just right and to work. And the kitchen itself is actually quite big. Adjacent to the kitchen is the laundry room. As you can see, the laundry room is in the state of being packed up just like the kitchen was a few hours ago. This is sort of more real life, as we can always see. And the idea is that this is also the mudroom as well as the laundry, and this access is used a lot. There's a powder room that's next door, and it's all very convenient, but everything is sort of on top of each other. And I don't like that you sort of walk through the laundry to get into the house. Obviously this side doors used most of all. So the idea is to divide the laundry in half. Make a mudroom of the section that you walk in and a laundry room that's slightly separate. This is the view that you see when you walk into the house through the new mudroom. And it's very important for me that the wall between the two windows is the focal wall. I'm going to put the range at the spot over here, centered between the two walls, and a ranger that's going to go above it. I've decided not to put any cabinetry on either side of the window, on the far left and on the far right, but rather to have some stainless steel wall shelves, very much like you would see in a restaurant kitchen, with some either plates on it or coffee pots and so on. I love this picture window. It looks out onto the garden, and it's sort of typical old aluminum window. It's not even double glazed, which it should be and so on, but nevertheless it's going to remain. Of course, the sink, what annoys me terribly is that the sink is not centered on the window. That, of course, will change. Moving along to this wall over here, I'm going to add cabinetry all along this wall, and underneath here there's going to be a little wine refrigerator. I don't like this wall oven being here, as much as I like the oven itself, but that's another story. I don't like the large volume that's at this point. I feel that it constricts the entry when one walks in. And having this open, and a countertop over here open, that I feel will give a much more greater sense of openness. What's interesting is that there are many kitchens which are not big enough and not small enough. The center space in the kitchen, it looks very nice, but it's not. I could squeeze in an island, and I could squeeze in a table. If the kitchen were just a foot bigger, it would just be so easy. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to put a narrow table, like a refectory table that you would see in a monastery, obviously a more contemporary version. I'm going to have it made out of butcher block. And I've got some skinny chairs, old Victorian or Edwardian garden chairs, which I'm going to have refinished. And they will sort of tuck in very nicely. That table, made out of countertop material, is inexpensive and is about 2 feet wide. So if I have about 3 feet, 2 feet and 3 feet, that should be enough. Flooring is very important, of course, in the kitchen in terms of the looks, in terms of the practicals and so on. This floor is a vinyl floor, which of course, or VCT or vinyl composition tile. I don't know, of course, whether it's vinyl or whether it's got a little bit of asbestos, which we're not allowed to talk about. If it does, obviously we have to have an asbestos abatement, or we can actually cover the floor, I'm told. I don't know how correct that is, but my one contractor has said that that's something that's acceptable. I'm putting in a stone floor, which you will see later on. It's in a French pattern, it's called, which is different size pieces, large squares, small squares, different size rectangles, and it looks like it's all been put together, but of course it's actually part of a pattern. Hopefully that's the tile I'll have. If not, I can always change it. This is my dining room that I'm very, very proud of, but we entertain a lot here, and I've got some beautiful things in here that are real dust collectors and so on. Talk of dust collection. of course, all the things from the kitchen have ended up here. So you can see there's some lovely fun things. I didn't realize how much stuff I had collected over the years. But amongst the dishes that I use for serving and the glassware and the food processor and so on, this disruption is something I'm going to have to live with for about, I would say, about 2 months, and I'm sure it'll be a little bit longer. Hopefully I'll be able to throw out something